cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know.
What's up, good people, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, Movie 96, along with Freddie G, K Money, and Slash. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. I want everybody that's on YouTube to go out and subscribe and click the like button. Follow us on X at 52 Scott Podcast and on IG and Facebook at the 52 Scott Podcast. What's up, good people, and welcome back to Think Thursday. Today's topic, divine intervention. Do you guys believe in divine intervention?
I do.
You do.
So before, explain that to me.
Okay, divine intervention. So I'm gonna give you a brief summary of what it means. Basically, divine intervention refers to the involvement or direct action of a deity or higher power in the natural world or human affairs. It typically is seen as an extraordinary or miraculous event that cannot be explained by natural or human means, and it's attributed to the will or purpose of divine beings. So basically, I was watching, I think Shannon Sharp's, he was interviewing, I want to say it was him, but don't quote me on it, but he was in a car that got shot up, I think it was 179 times, 175 times. His friend got killed, but he didn't. Nothing. He didn't get shot at all. So that's like an example of divine intervention. Something that just happened miraculously.
Do I believe in it?
Yes.
I believe in God.
Yeah, I would think that's.
That's what I say. I believe in God, but you have those atheists, those people who do not, and it just makes me wonder, because I'm like, come on, man, if it wouldn't be for Jesus, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, but see, those are the ones that I would think that wouldn't believe in divine intervention.
Yeah, exactly.
The ones that don't believe.
That don't believe. Yeah, the atheists.
That don't believe. Yeah. So I have a few. There's a lot of instances here that we know about, and I'm going to bring those up. But first, this actual clip from IG is the reason I brought this up. I thought this story was fairly interesting, so I want you to listen to this clip.
B&B Films.
The bartender slipped me a note. Don't leave with her. So she walked into this little bar I was in, and she walked in, real smooth, like she was like a part of the band or something. Not too flashy, but just like present. Like when she walked into the room, the whole room just like stopped. Like you could just kind of feel a slight, silence, undertone, like people knew she was there. So she kind of walked up to me and she ordered me a drink, before I even introduced myself. And she said, I like your energy, so I'm like, okay. She told me my face looked like it told stories. So I kind of laughed it off, I'm like, okay, whatever that means. So then she reached and touched my birthmark and she whispered, I like the broken parts. I mean, I don't know what that means. Like, I'm glad I got a free drink and she looked good. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. So we talking for like an hour, y'all. Like nothing deep, just like, love flirting, low tones, kind of vibes, kind of conversation that make you forget where you parked at. So then I got up to go order a second drink. So the bartender slid me a glass, but he slid me like a little napkin with the glass, but it was like kind of folded up. He ain't say nothing, he just kind of like nodded at me. I'm like, okay. So I unfolded it and I read it and it said, don't leave with her, you're not the first. I'm like, what? Not the first? I'm too faded for this. First of all, so I don't even know what you're talking about right now. So I'm like, okay, I guess. So I turned back and the bartender was gone. Like not in the back, not serving anymore. Like he was just gone. So I turned around to the table and she was gone too. And the drink was there though, and it's still like, dripping, like sweating on the table. So this lady comes from the back, whatever, and she asks me, okay. And I'm like, I'm looking for my friend. And she was like, your friend, and we kind of going back and forth. And she was kind of looking at me like, she don't know what I'm talking about. So she was like, come look at this. She showed me the security camera, and I was sitting there by myself all night. So if anybody knows me, they knows I'm not. Look, y'all.
That's crazy, huh? That's crazy for the bartender, first of all. So it's like an angels and demons type thing. That's what it feels like. What do y'all think about this story?
That would fuck me up too, but I do believe in spirits. As I agreed earlier, I do believe in God. Mm-hmm. I've never witnessed anything of that nature. I always kind of wish that I could, and I know I need to be careful what I ask for because the shit might scare me if I did, witness something like that. But no, I do believe in that type of interaction or.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's. I told you guys about my own personal one. Well, this is when I was stationed in Vacaville, California, at Travis Air Force Base, and I had went up to Sacramento, went to go see this girl, but it's a little road you take. It's quicker instead of going down 5 to get to Sacramento. You take this little road, but it's a little country road, and I had just got paid. It was a crazy part, but I left my wallet. So I had plenty of money, but not on me. And I ran out of gas. I go in the store, and as I'm getting out, there was a white guy. Man, he smiled and said, "Hey, how you doing?" Just spoke to me. And remember, it's a long, straight road. There's no hills, nothing, just flat. And he's jogging. I'll never forget, he's jogging. Gave me a smile. How you doing? I spoke. I went in the store, knowing I ain't had no money. But I'm thinking that maybe he'll let me get $5 and bring it back. $5 of gas to get home and bring it back. So I had no gas, but when I came back out from the store, because he didn't agree to it, of course, so I was trying to go back in my see if I can scrape up some change, about $1 worth of change. I come back to a full tank of gas. That man that was jogging was gone. He wasn't up the road. I didn't see him, and then no one else was out there. It was just me and then the store clerk. And the store clerk never came outside. So I went from an empty tank of gas to a full tank of gas.
You checked your back seat before you got up in that motherfucker?
Nobody was out there. So I still think about that till this day. I'm like, man, it just throws me for a loop. So, but here's something you guys may remember. Y'all remember the Virgin Mary apparition in Egypt? It was back when we was younger. And it was thousands of Muslims and Christians in Cairo witnessed the apparition of the Virgin Mary above a church. Y'all remember that story? I remember that. I remember on TV.
No.
What exactly occurred, if you can elaborate?
Well, they said that thousands of Muslims and Christians in Cairo witnessed the apparition of the Virgin Mary above a church in Zaytun, captured in the photos and reported in the media. Even skeptics were baffled. Many saw it as a sign of divine reassurance during the times of turmoil.
What's that word you're saying? Apparition? What is that?
It's like apparition is like a ghost, so to speak.
Oh, okay.
Like a hologram, ghostly type thing. That's what I'm thinking.
Well, I vaguely remember the Virgin Mary statue, shedding a tear or some shit like that. A long time ago, that they made an issue of.
Okay, do y'all remember this story? I vaguely remember this. The tornado that split. There was a tornado in Joplin, Mississippi. Joplin, I remember that.
I sure don't remember that one.
It was headed towards a church packed with people in prayer. Eyewitness said the funnel cloud suddenly split into two and passed around the building, and no one was harmed. That was in Joplin, Missouri. These are true stories, by the way.
I have to see that one on video.
Yeah, I gotta see that. I'm actually gonna go Google this because I put these out here, but I didn't read them, and because I wanted to be, I wanted to get the shock value of it myself as I'm reading it.
Didn't want to do your homework.
Yeah, no, I did my homework. I just wanted to be natural reaction. Rescue of baby Jessica. I don't
That was
remember.
the baby that fell in the hole.
Yes,
I
yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I
Wasn't
remember
she
that.
down there for a couple of hours?
Yeah.
I remember
Was
that.
it like
Yes.
24 hours?
Longer.
Yeah, it was some
Longer than that.
yeah.
1987. Yep.
Yeah, I
18,
remember that.
Yeah, I
18
remember
minutes. Jessica McClure fell into a well for 56 hours.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Rescuers worked
a long
tirelessly. Many reported it's a lot of.
Damn near 3 days.
That's a long time.
50
56.
something out. That's a long time.
That's a long time. I know it's kind of messed up, but she had some water. Let me stop. Okay, I'm so wrong. So, I'm sorry. The comedian just come out. So I'm sorry. But she was in there 56 hours, and rescuers worked tirelessly. Many reported inexplicable calmness, strength, and help as they guided by a higher power. They saying she got guided by a higher power. Her miraculous rescue touched millions and was widely described as divine inspiration. We remember that story. That's what I'm saying. Stuff like that you remember. Now this I do not remember. The miracle at Dunkirk.
Yeah, there's a movie about that.
Oh, is it? The World War II, more than 330,000 Allied troops were evacuated from the beaches of Dunkirk. Adverse weather and the Nazis' attacks and the storms that grounded the Luftwaffe made it possible. Churchill and many called it the miracle of Dunkirk. I don't remember that one. We was probably too young. That was probably more of a history lesson.
If you like them military flicks like Band of Brothers and things like that nature, it's on those lines.
It's on that? Oh, yeah, I'm going to check that out. Check it out. The church that survived Hiroshima. I didn't think no one survives Hiroshima.
I didn't either.
Yeah, the Jesuit church near Ground Zero in Hiroshima survived the 1945 atomic bomb blast. 8 priests were inside and were unharmed. That's crazy. Yeah, that's divine all the way.
It's God.
That's God. Nothing but God all the way. 9/11. Now, we all know about the 9/11. The white fireman. I think y'all have seen the videos of him. He was just had all that dust on him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Survival. His name was Janelle Guzman McMillan. The last person pulled alive from the rubble of the Twin Towers, said a man named Paul helped her and handed her and comforted her in the dark. Rescuers, however, said no such man existed. So she believed it was an angel. The white fireman. She saw a white fireman. I guess that was the one that was covered.
Everybody was covered though, huh?
I know, right? So, yeah, that's crazy.
Shit, a black fireman looked white.
No, I'm sorry. We shouldn't be laughing, but the way you said it, that's just wrong. Let me stop. All right. Colleen Kelly's angel. I don't remember. This is another tornado. During a tornado in Illinois, Colleen Kelly was thrown across a field and survived with minor injuries. She later told interviewers she felt an arm cradle her in the air, slowing the descent. She believed it was a guardian angel. You know what? That's crazy. My oldest brother, he's passed now. He had a Mustang GT, and the hardback, the one on Menace to Society. Matter of fact, I think it was the same one. And he was speeding, and it's something about Mustangs and Bryants. We just don't. Everybody had a Mustang and split it. So my brother actually fell asleep at the wheel. He worked at the prison, not too far from Houston, which is like Rosharon, about an hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah,
or something like that. 45 minutes out?
Yeah, 45.
Yeah, and he was coming home down the road, and he actually split his car in two. So the first half of the car got towed, and the second back half of the car got towed. But at the same time, the stern wheel went through the front seat. Now, you know they always tell you to wear your seatbelt, but my brother never wore his seatbelt. And because of that, he had minor injuries, just a couple of cuts on his leg.
Saved him to not wear the seatbelt.
Saved him not to wear the seatbelt. Mm-hmm. So that was a guardian angel protecting him at that time, because there's no way he should have survived. If you got 2 different tow trucks towing your car,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have been in there. You should have been gone. So, somebody's watching over him at that time. Okay, let me see another one here. The Voice in the River. This one's kind of scary to me. I did read this one. In 2015, a Utah police officer heard a woman's voice crying for help from an overturned car submerged in the icy water. Inside, he found a baby still alive, but the woman, her mother, had died hours earlier. All officers swore they heard the voice, which they say led them to rescue the infant. So the lady had already been dead, but they was hearing voices. That would have had me. That give you the
That's crazy.
yeah. That give you that
I believe in shit like that, though.
yeah.
Especially when it's more than one person that's saying the same thing. You know, it's kind of hard not to believe.
Yep.
A lot of that is hard to believe, but again, I can't go against it because I know some of the stuff that I've been through, and I'm like, wow, it's unbelievable, you know, kind of testimony type stuff. So this is what you're reading. To me, this is what I'm getting from. These are testimonies where people been through something that they didn't think they would make it through.
Exactly. That's why I don't call it divine. These are testimonies more
Yeah.
to me. These are not divine. I mean, don't get me wrong. Our Lord and Savior stepped in and saved them, but this is more of a testimony than divine.
Yeah, those testimonies, man.
Yep.
Stuff happened, and once he say it is what it is.
Yeah. Now this one should be a movie. This is another 9/11 one. The Man Who Missed Work. So Peter Devereaux, who worked in the World Trade Center, was running late due to dropping his daughter off at school. He missed being in the building during the attacks. He credits God orchestrating the delay that saved his life.
He showed right about that.
Yeah. So see, that's what I'm talking about. He thanked God. He didn't
That's who
say
you think. It ain't nothing divine.
Right.
It's God is there.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody know about this one, the miracle on Hudson River.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Hudson.
Then when U.S. Airways Flight 1549 ditched into the Hudson River in 2009.
So let me ask you, how much of that was divine intervention or good pilot training?
I would say
Both.
God blessed him with being a great pilot. How about that? God blessed him being a great pilot. Now, remember, I have always had a question if you can have a wreck for bird strikes. This here clearly says in 2009, after bird strikes disabled both engines. I never knew that. Some birds, man, we be taking the chances when we be flying.
Bird strikes happen more often than one would know.
Yeah, we be taking chances we be flying because them birds let the geese fly north for the winter, and we got to fly in the winter.
It just seems a lot more happening. A lot happening more nowadays. Than,
I blame Donald Trump.
For the birds,
Trump residue.
Everything.
for everything, birds,
Everything.
geese.
I agree.
His whole administration.
Now, I don't remember this flight, y'all. Flight 255, the Sole Survivor. In 1987, Northwest Airlines Flight 255 crashed, killing 154 people. This just happened. Matter of fact, we just had that happen.
Yeah, I was about to say that just happened probably about
like a week
2
ago,
or 3 weeks
2
ago.
weeks ago. Yeah, that's right.
Well, one survivor.
One survivor. That plane blew up. And they show it, and he survived.
Yeah,
So
just
what
one
did
survivor.
they get out of the plane before the explosion? Where they
Nah,
had to get out?
so
They
it's
was
crashed.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
So
People
they was
want
in the back of the plane probably.
Here's the crazy part. He was sitting in seat 11A. The sole survivor of these other train crashes, they also was in 11A. So now people they're going
To
to
sit in
request
11A.
to be in 11A. 11A going to be very
11A
high.
finna go up.
It
Yeah.
sounds like the middle of the plane.
Now,
Because
it's
how
not-
many rows?
11A
on
is next to
plane?
is next to the exit. It's next to the exit door. So that's crazy.
Oh, so you got to volunteer to work the emergency doors.
Yeah.
Sitting in
Now
11A.
you got to think about this. Do y'all recall the Boeing flight here recently, a couple years ago? There were no casualties, but
that seat-
that door came off.
Yeah, and
and
the
they
seat
was
flew off.
and it was dark. They were flying still, and those people were just sitting there by the door, calm.
Yeah.
But didn't the seat? I thought a seat flew off of that.
I don't know if a seat flew off, but I knew that door was open.
Yeah.
And they showed people still sitting in their seat. They were calm, but they were flying.
in the
I
air.
don't know if I'd have been
And
that
that's-
motherfucking
and that's
I'm
calm.
sure they had their seatbelt on.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, of course.
Because that wind
of
will
course.
suck you out of there.
Pressure, yeah.
It
Yeah,
will.
of course.
It will.
They was sitting there.
And that's what I was saying when I told you I was in an incident where the wheels wouldn't come down. Our landing gear wouldn't come down. When they told us, they said we're going to have to belly land. We were calm. Nobody panicked. Nobody was whispering. There was no whispers. It was calm. It was quiet still. Nobody was tripping. It wasn't until after we landed, we're on the ground safely, we're exiting, everybody screaming, hollering, crying because they seen the ambulance and the fire trucks. That's just retarded.
You made
should've
it
been crying.
safely.
Yeah, we're safe. We're on the ground. We're walking out.
Well, I think it's more of a panic
Trying to get paid.
or panic. You know, people get off the plane and panic and think about they could have lost their life or, you know.
Yeah, but you gonna do it after we done landed, we good. To me, it was you just trying to get paid for emotional distress. or
Well,
something.
it might just be they want that attention, man. Some people just, you know, like attention.
Is it divine intervention if animals can talk English?
That bus pulled up right on time, man. I sure appreciate that bus driver. Golly.
Don't let him on if he got his dog with him.
All right, today, y'all, I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm kicking off the most favorite lady in the world, a lunch lady.
A lunch lady.
Yes. There was a lunch lady. I think she's in. I think. Listen to me. Lunch lady
Cafeteria
paid,
worker?
huh? Cafeteria worker. Yes, lunch lady paid some kids to beat up some fourth graders who called her a bitch. Basically.
yeah.
So Brooke Wilson Johnson, a school lunch aide, was accused of paying 3 students $1 each
Wow.
to physically assault a fourth grader who called her the B word.
Well, I tell you what, she's dumb and she's smart at the same time.
And I'm gonna give y'all some extra chocolate milk.
You know, so that was dumb and smart.
You ain't
honestly.
lying. All right, fourth graders, stay away from that lunchroom. That's our show for today. Tune in tomorrow for Black Friday. Peace. This concludes our show for today. And if you haven't done so already, follow us on X at 52 Scott Podcast. Also, IG and Facebook at the 52 Scott Podcast. Also, like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for Black Friday.